We're in the middle of a big party at Bachman's, 140-year celebration.
Yes, this is a big birthday bash, and it's not nearly over. More Twin Cities Live coming up right now.
We're giving stay cool summer vibes on Twin Cities Live at 4. Here are Elizabeth Reese and Ben Lieber.
Hey, happy Friday. We are not Ben and Elizabeth. It's Kristen Haubrich here alongside Paul Folger from 5 Eyewitness News. Ben and Elizabeth, they are out live at Bachman's today for a big celebration.
Oh my gosh, the best birthday party ever. So we're just kind of here babysitting this table, and so we're going to go out to them in just a second.
That's right. But coming up on the show later on, we are going to go inside the Minnesota Children's Museum. I was just there earlier today. This is a great spot, especially as the kids are out of school.
Oh my gosh.
To keep them busy and engaged. They are debuting an all-new exhibit. It's called Game On. So
Game On.
Imagine being your player. You're in a board game.
You're in the board game. You're the player in the board game. Oh my gosh.
They also have like a wonky ping pong table, and you can do Twister.
I'm going to walk in there and say, game on!
Yeah.
Game on!
I'm a kid at heart.
Yeah, you are a kid at heart.
So are you.
Listen, it's a great place to be, especially on a day like today where it's kind of chilly outside. Here's where it's not chilly, okay? All afternoon. We've been at Minnesota-based Bachman's. We are celebrating 140 years of their business.
Yes, that company started in 1885 with a vegetable garden on Lindale Avenue in Minneapolis. Today, they have 6 locations, and you'll find their floral arrangements and gifts inside 28 Lunds and Byerly's stores.
They are everywhere. So let's head over to Bachman's flagship store in Minneapolis, and that's where Elizabeth Reese and Ben Lieber are part of throwing this big birthday bash, guys.
Oh my gosh, this place never ends, you guys. They were taking us back here, and I'm like, I will have no idea where my car is. Where did I put it?
If you've been watching this show from the very start, we're all the way over there, about 100 yards away, and we've kind of like bopped around, and now we're in here in the actual nursery park. So much more behind us.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's a great spot. We have a fabulous crowd out here. We're celebrating Bachman's 140th birthday. And you know what? We couldn't get out of here without getting our hands in the dirt a little bit. We are going to learn right now about how to grow your own ingredients. What? My favorite thing. And get some garnishes for a little cocktail garden. So let's bring Jen back in. Hi, friend.
Hi,
Jen. Long time no see. Jen, okay. So, Jen, we are ready. We've got gardening gloves ready to go.
Perfect.
And you're going to teach us how to create a little cocktail garden right in a pot. And of course, you can use this for a mocktail. You can add to lemonade. It's just kind of fun to call it a cocktail garden.
So fun.
All right, where are we starting?
Okay, so many fun herbs. We've got things like lavender, which are great in like lemonade.
Yes.
Mint. I love to put mint in my ice water during the summer. Like put it in the fridge and let it steep a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you have like the beautiful mint water.
I'm like dying
mojitos.
over this one. This is called Corsican mint. Have you guys ever seen this? I've never seen this. It's the teeniest, tiniest little mint seeds.
So cute, isn't it?
Does it actually smell like mint?
Yes.
It does. Yeah.
It totally
It tastes like it too. Yeah.
I know.
Eat it right off the plant.
That's the fun thing about mint, I think, is that people don't necessarily realize how many different varieties
Yeah, absolutely.
there are.
There's so many different varieties.
I mean, there's apple mint, there's orange mint, there's chocolate mint, there's all sorts of fun
yeah,
stuff.
this cute one here is pineapple mint. So fun.
Fun. Oh my gosh, let's get into that. Okay. Whoa. And mint is one of those things, too, that you don't necessarily want to put it in the yard. You don't necessarily even want to put it in your raised bed. It really does well in pots.
It does well in containers because mint takes over everything. So be very careful with it, or it will take over your whole garden.
You'll have a lot.
You'll have a lot if you really love mint. I mean, why not? But
And it's okay. As you see, there's a little demo over here. Like, you can put all of these in one pot. They can share one living space.
Absolutely.
And they all get along. They're not going to fight with each other.
Absolutely. You can mix and match your herbs. You can add other plants in with that, too.
See, that's
so you can do other annuals mixed in, so you have some flowers and some beautiful different textures along with some of the herbs.
Oh my gosh, that's so smart. I don't think that much about just interplanting the edible things with the non-edible, but it adds so much interest.
It really does. It really does.
Okay, so how can we get this one going?
Yeah, so when you're planting, obviously when we're taking things out of the container, sometimes you might have to like squeeze a little bit to pop them out of there. Once you get your plants out of the container, I like to break up your roots a little bit because you'll see they're really root bound from being in their containers. So
that is
break
okay
that.
to do that.
You absolutely want to do that. Yep. So you'll break them up just a little bit. It's not like you want to rip them all apart or be super
like
crazy, but yeah. And then I like to just do dig what I call like a little nest in there. So take my fingers in, do a little nest so you can drop it right in there.
Yeah.
And then you'll just want it to kind of sit flush with the top of that soil. So you'll push down a little bit, kind of fill in a little bit of soil with your fingers as you're going. We really like to talk about thriller, filler, spiller here. So you have like your thriller, your bigger plants that are gonna be a little bit taller. You have your filler, things that will kind of take, fill in the middle space, and then your spillers, things that will trail over the edge of the pot, so it gives you some really nice visual interest when
So
you do
like,
something
is
like
this
that.
considered your thriller?
Thriller.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's the thriller, and then everything else kind of fills in. But
Yeah.
the lavender is almost a little bit of a thriller
It
too.
really is. Lavender is beautiful. So I mean, something like this, you could do a really big one in the
let's-
middle,
let me
and that would be
try.
your.
Try hard.
You got those football hands. You can get in there and do it, right?
The
I don't
lavender.
want to hurt the plant.
No, you're not going to. The plant wants this. The
Yeah.
plant is like,
Yep.
let me have my home.
Exactly.
Can you tell me a bit about the dirt as well? So they're all sharing one pot.
Yeah.
And then when you're looking for dirt, I feel like there's like variety of
There
of
is a
dirt
lot.
you can buy. What should we
There
be
is a
looking
lot.
for?
So something like this, we're using what's called potting soil. So that's going to have some of the different nutrients in there. So it's going to have peat, perlite, some of those things that are really going to help with the nutrients of the plants.
Right.
But if you're doing different things like vegetable gardens, there'll be different soils for that. If you're doing, very different than topsoil, that's not going to have any of those nutrients in there. So you
Sure.
just kind of want to make sure that you're using a soil. Potting soil is pretty good across the board for plants and herbs.
It makes a big difference. I
Yeah.
mean, soil makes a difference. Now, these they like a lot of sun.
They do like a lot of sun.
Okay.
They like a lot of sun. So herbs, 6 hours, 8 hours sun a day is going to really help them grow. The soil likes to be moist on herbs, but not wet. So
Okay.
you want to make sure that your containers have drainage holes in them.
Yep.
So there's not water sitting in there. If there's water sitting in there, it's really going to kind of eat away at the root system, and you can get mold and things like
so
that.
do you typically check every day the soil consistency?
I do in my planters. It'll depend on kind of where it's sitting, but I do check every day.
You don't need to check today.
That is true.
You do not.
Some things you need to water every day, depending on the spot. It might be every other day. You're just going to have to test that out a little bit and see.
The other thing I want to ask you about is harvesting, because I think some people are like, oh, it looks so beautiful, I don't want to wreck it by harvesting.
No.
But you
You
do
want to. That's the point of having them.
Yeah.
You want to cook with them. You want to put them in your mocktails and your cocktails. So use it. The more you use herbs, the more they continue to grow. So you want to make sure that you are using them.
And
Does
there's-
it matter? Sorry, does it matter where you harvest them from on the stem?
good question.
Is it like you want to go from the bottom? Do you want to go from the top? Does it matter?
It just depends. A lot of times you can take a full stem. I guess it depends on how much you need of that. So you can take a full stem. You can even do things like cutting if you have a lot going on and the plants are getting really big, cutting and maybe, freezing them in ice cubes. Or my grandma always said she would put them in olive oil and freeze them, so then you can take that out and cook with the olive oil, and they're already infused with the herbs.
You can do that with
So-
basil. You can do
I've
that
never
with
thought about
thyme,
that.
with sage, with any of those.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so delicious.
Yes.
And the basil too. You want to make sure, like, if it starts to flower, you want to cut that part
Right,
off.
you do want to make sure before things start to flower or
Yeah.
later in the season before things really start to go to seed of harvesting those things a little bit. And so if you do have extra, that's a great thing. You can dry them, use them dried. So a few different things that you can really harvest them for.
And then I would assume too that you probably have some of these pre-done. I mean, if people don't really want to plant it themselves, they can just pick it up and have it ready to go.
You can always have things picked up. We
Yeah.
have a lovely potting bar here where you can come pick flowers out, and somebody here on staff will put it together for you, either while you wait, or you can order it and have it delivered or pick it up later.
Well, that got me thinking. I mean, we got a potting bar. Why don't we have like a little?
We should have a cocktail.
We should have a cocktail,
Yeah,
right?
we should. We
should probably
we should
do
have an
that.
actual bar. Okay, so our friend Ted Farrell at Haskell's, he helped us with a lovely cocktail. Okay, so it has gin, Saint Germain, and we're gonna put some of the lavender,
Yeah.
in it. Okay? Can
Yeah,
you garnish it?
let's do it.
Pull some of this
Let's do
lavender.
it.
How do we do this? Do you?
Well, I'm just good. I mean, if I
Yeah.
had like some little snakes.
Exactly.
So-
She's got it perfectly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we're gonna put some in here. Ben, do you want to garnish your own? Here, Jen. Why
Yeah,
don't you
why
keep
not?
that
I thought
one?
you were doing it for me, but I'll just go ahead and do it. It's
We gotta
fine.
Get you working.
No, it's perfect.
That was a very judgy. Okay.
That was good. That was wonderful. I got a little dirt in mine, which I think
That's
is
okay.
wonderful. That's good for my gut microbiome, which I'm always looking for. All right, you guys, I think we should raise a glass to 140
Yeah, 140
years
years.
of Bachman.
Congratulations. Jen, you're amazing.
Thank you.
What a great party, you guys.
Dirt in the cocktail. Who
I know.
cares?
Get some dirt out there, that's all right.
That's
Hey, listen,
fun.
coming up next, get ready to hop back in the time machine because we're going to go back 140 years. What was it like when Bachman's first started? We'll tell you just after the break.